In 1901, the 6 British colonies occupying the island continent in the far southern and eastern hemispheres voted by referendum to unite in a federation, forming what is the modern-day Australia. Today, nearly 25 million people live there, with immigrants from every continent. Debates rage on about whether Australia should become a republic or remain a monarchy, with strong arguments and powerful groups heading each side of the discussion. Of course, in the U.S., people know Australia in a different way. Vegemite, kangaroos, Foster's beer, Croc Dundee. But today, we change all that as we judge the land down under by what truly matters. It's snacks. You tried it. You Tried Dat, Australian edition. I'm Nick Novak with my pals Chad Hancock.
Good day, mate.
And Nick Geiger.
Throw another shrimp on the Barbie.
There you go.
Nailed that
That's
accent.
not a knife.
That's not a snack.
From famous character Croc Dundee.
When's the last time you guys watched Croc Dundee?
Oh, God.
Would you believe I've never seen it?
I believe that. It's a piece of shit.
I have not seen Crocodile Dundee.
Well, surprise. That's what we're doing for this episode.
This is a live stream of Croc Dundee.
This is a live stream audio commentary of Croc Dundees 1 through 4. I don't know. How many are there?
They make 4 Croc Dundees. I'm trying to look up if Croc Dundee 3 exists. Croc Dundee 2 does exist.
I know there's a Croc Dundee 2. He comes to the U.S., I think,
It's like
right?
Croc in L.A. or something, isn't it?
Then there's Croc 4, Croc in the Hood, and Croc 5, Croc in Space. Oh, wait, those are the Leprechaun
Croc-ing.
movies. My bad.
Yeah, this is Crocodile Dundee in Los Angeles. You're right.
Yeah. And then there's Croc 5. This is a crock of shit.
Well done.
So speaking of Croc in LA, Chad, you recently went on a trip similar to Croc.
That's fantastic.
Man, you're a pro at this.
Yeah, last weekend I was Chad in LA.
Why are you Chad 2?
I don't know.
Who's Chad 1?
So yeah, I went down to LA for the weekend. It was basically an entire trip of just food. So like we went to 4 different ice cream places over the course of the weekend, 4 different taco shops, and ate Ethiopian food. It was basically just go from one meal to another, to another, to another. But the one thing we did do that was not food related that was kind of funny, we were just sort of looking around like, oh, are there any like interesting museums or something like that we haven't been to? And we found this one called the Death Museum, or Museum of Death. Have you guys heard of this?
No.
It's just this like small thing where these people are like completely fascinated with like weird death stuff. So it's like they have all this memorabilia from like serial killers and stuff, like letters that John Wayne Gacy wrote, and different things from like crime scene photos and stuff. It's all very strange. They have like some of the bunk beds from the Heaven's Gate cult. Do you remember that like mass suicide or whatever?
What?
Yes.
David Koresh?
No, that's the Waco, Texas one. Heaven's Gate was the one where the comet was coming, and they were like, "Oh, if we all kill ourselves, we'll get taken to aliens or something." All very strange. And the whole time I'm just walking around like, "Why does this exist?" But then there was one room that made it all worthwhile because it was a room full of like taxidermied animals. And most of them were just like normal animals. Like it's, oh, here's like a taxidermied, boxer, like, some other dogs. Then there was like a 3-legged turkey. But then the one that cracked me up the most was it just looked like a regular chicken. But for some reason it was positioned with like its head away from you and its rear end kind of facing towards you. And it's like, oh, I wonder why they did that. And I walked up there, read the label underneath, and it said chicken with 2 vents. And then underneath the 2 vents in parentheses, it said 2-butted chicken. For some reason, I mean, I had just spent the last 40 minutes looking at all these horrid crime scene photos, but that thing just cracked me up. And I was like, first of all, that they called them vents. And then apparently enough people got confused that they had to clarify that the vents meant it had 2 asses.
What's that have to do with death?
I have no idea.
It was like they just stumbled across it. They're like, well, someone will pay to watch this.
Right. I mean, I guess the chicken was dead. I don't know.
I'm going to regret asking this question. The chicken actually had 2 buttholes, right?
That's right. Yeah,
just 2 legs, right? It wasn't like 2 actual sets of butt cheeks.
Right. There wasn't 2 butt cheeks. There wasn't. Yeah, it was just 2 holes in the back, and that's why they had positioned it so that it looked like it was about ready to like shit all over you.
So how do they know they don't just have a regular chicken and it died and they just stabbed another hole in it? Look, I've got a 2-vented chicken.
You don't question a place that has bunk beds from Heaven's Gate.
Yeah.
Seems pretty on the up and up.
To get the Heaven's Gate bunk bed, you had to probably like jump in front of, like, stop them from throwing it in the fire. Because, I mean, it's not like people are bidding on these things.
The prized possession of Heaven's Gate bunk bed. That's how you're going to get your perfect night's sleep. Yeah, even the bathroom had like, it was so morbid. I'm just standing there taking a piss and I look around and it's just all these pictures of Elvis throughout the years. And then like a news article detailing like all the grisly details of his death.
What?
It was so strange.
When they're running out of exhibits, they'll just cut out and paste like obituaries from the local paper.
We're looking at the souvenir shop at the end, and it's like, a lot of times I like to get magnets from places that we go, but I didn't want any of those magnets because it was all magnets that were either crime scene photos or the Heaven's Gate logo.
There was no one.
Hard pass.
There wasn't one with like a chicken bending over with 2 assholes.
No, I would have bought that in a second.
It all seems a little too vague. Like, just, what is Elvis die? He just died. I mean,
Yeah.
it's nothing to do with like a serial killer or a 2-ass chicken.
No. A lot of it was just like, here's a famous person that died. So if you're ever in LA, check it out. Or don't, actually.
Yeah, it's all, the way you described it, I'm probably not going to make it a priority.
I recently was told an inappropriate joke from someone near death. I'm like, how can I get into this? So I went to get a haircut at just a standard place. This was not a death haircut themed place, but it was only me and an old man finishing getting his haircut ahead of me. And then there was one haircut person in there. It's during the day on a weekday. So the guy finishes and he's paying, and I'm sitting directly behind him just waiting my turn. And he turns around and says, "Do you want to hear a joke?" You know, he basically, his voice was kind of like the Harry Carey impersonation.
How old do you think this guy was, if you had to guess?
He was probably near 80.
Okay.
At least mid-70s. And I said yes, because I really want to hear what this guy has to say. And the lady was ready to call me up because I was the only one in there. So she also sat and listened to this joke. This is like a close approximation. There was probably like 4 or 5 more old man lines in there just to spread the story out. But he says, a guy is in AA. In AA, you need to find 3 things, and one of them is God. Well, the fella told his sponsor one day, I found God. He helps me out every night. And the sponsor said, what do you mean? Well, every night I get up to pee, I open the door, and God turns on the bathroom light for me. And the friend says, you asshole, you've been pissing in the fridge.
What does that have to do with being in AA?
It has nothing to do with anything. And then I laughed because it was a hilarious situation.
It's absurd.
Wait, did you genuinely laugh, or was it like a fake kind of ha ha ha?
I was genuinely laughing because we're just in public. Like, this lady's listening to the joke, and he's saying, you asshole, you're pissing in the fridge. Like, that alone had me laughing. And then he points at me and says, there's your laugh for the day. And then he walked out.
A real public servant.
And then he walked straight over to the Death Museum, passed out.
Along those same lines, I recently maybe had one of my life's greatest triumphs. So I went on vacation last week to the Adirondack area of New York where my father-in-law is from. And he had a family reunion. So my wife and my kids and my brother-in-law, sister-in-law, in-laws all went out there. And we had a really good time. And one night we were playing a game. It wasn't apples to apples, but it was similar to that, or someone puts a card down that says something similar to where would you want to go on vacation, or the thing that you'd most want to tell your teacher is, and then everyone gives it a card that they think best answers that question. They have to pick which one they like the most. And this one was kind of dirty. And so my father-in-law, when we play with my family games like that, my goal ends up just being trying to make my in-laws say the most embarrassing stuff possible, because they're pretty straight-laced people. And so my father-in-law is very quiet. He's a funny guy, but he's just very quiet. He doesn't say much. I don't even know what the premise was, but the card I gave him, which he then read aloud in a very serious, somber voice while looking directly at me, because I think you know who sent it to him, was just 2 words: these balls. And I shit my pants. Just getting him to say these balls. I mean, he was laughing. He wasn't upset, but just getting him to say these balls is maybe the thing I'm most proud of. It's probably raising my kids and then that.
Your top accomplishment in life is handing your father-in-law a card that said these balls on it.
Right. I have low expectations.
Congratulations.
This isn't like a Cards for Humanity thing. It just happened to have a...
It's in that same vein. I don't remember what the name was, so I think it's slightly different. But
that was the highlight of your vacation?
That was the best thing that happened all week.
All right. Well, we're going to try these snacks. And Chad, why don't you give us a little rundown about how these snacks came about?
Sure. So we have some Australian fans. Shout out to Maria and Adam, 2 of our biggest fans. After they found out that we had tried Tim Tams, they said to us, well, no, you need to try some real Australian snacks. So next thing I know, I'm getting a package in the mail from Australia, just full of tons of Australian snacks. Like, I think I got 9 different things from him, so we've got a couple episodes worth of Australian stuff. Thanks for sending those. I'm super happy about that. If anybody else wants to mail me free food, by all means.
Are these guys U.S. people who have migrated there, or are they pure Australian blood?
Yeah, Adam is pure Australian. Maria is actually Brazilian, then came to the U.S., and then now is in Australia.
So they know Crocodile Dundee personally.
Yes. Adam and Crocodile Dundee are they go way back. They hang out with a bunch of drop bears all the time. Do you guys know drop bears?
No.
Huh?
Is this a Croc Dundee reference?
Drop bears are like something that Australians will tell tourists that is something that exists. They claim it's like a carnivorous koala or something like that called a drop bear. And then they just do it as an excuse to try to trick tourists into like doing stupid stuff. So they'll say things like, you know, drop bears hate the smell of toothpaste. So if you spread toothpaste all over your armpits, then you'll be safe from the drop bears. And just try to get people to do dumb shit.
Australians are assholes.
Yeah, well, I mean,
not your friends.
It's a believable story because Australia, as everyone knows, is like the deadliest place on Earth, right? Like that has all the deadliest spiders, like kangaroos will fuck you up. Pretty much every Australian person is chock full of STDs. So it's just, you know, just an absolute hellscape from start to finish. So yeah, it's believable that the drop bear.
The kangaroos also have STDs and they will fuck you up. Yeah. Literally.
The kangaroos have STDs and 5 vents for some reason.
Man, I was totally misled by Croc Dundee too.
Why do you think he came to LA? He wanted to get away from all the 5 vented kangaroos.
I believe he was like patient 0 for STDs in the United States.
It is true that syphilis can be traced back to Croc Dundee. Don't research that.
I heard that the ANH is an Australian immune disease. I don't know what the S is. Syndrome? Syndrome. Yeah. I got
it. Well done.
I got most of the way there.
So we are going to rate these snacks on a 5-point scale of love dat, like dat, indifferent to dat, dislike dat, and hate dat. And the first one we're going to start with is a FruChocs.
Is this a 5-point scale or a 5-vent scale we're using?
5-vent scale.
So explain to me what a FruChoc is, because I just have a plastic bag full of them.
This one is an orange candies, or maybe this is peach. Actually, these are peaches. Sorry, I don't know fruit.
I think they might be apricots.
Oh yeah, those are apricots. Okay, 3rd time's the charm. Yeah, it's a chocolate apricot thing made by the Men's Corporation.
Isn't that every corporation, right, fellas?
Hashtag not all men's. What is What is it about men's FruChocs that make them so irresistibly Moorish? What the fuck is Moorish? Is it the soft, tangy fruit center, and they spelled center the wrong way, R-E, of delicious apricot and peach? Is it the layer of rich, luscious milk chocolate? Or is it the way these all combine to create a tantalizing morsel of yumminess? So there we go. They look like about the size of like really big chocolate-covered raisins.
So what did your friend say about these? These are good? He likes them?
I think he mailed us mostly stuff that he really likes.
On the outside, they look like a Whopper.
Mm-hmm.
Candy we're a little more familiar with. But they are very soft.
So I bit into half of one so I could see inside, and it actually almost looks like peanut butter inside. It's weird. It doesn't look like... I was expecting almost like dried fruit. It tastes like fruit.
Yeah, it doesn't taste like it. It tastes like fruit.
That's really odd.
Yeah, it does really taste strongly of apricots.
These are gluten-free.
Nice.
This is interesting.
Am I insane, or does it kind of taste a little minty?
You're insane.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you sure you're not eating the mint slice?
Right. Oops. I was eating Andy's mints. My bad.
I don't know what to compare these to because we don't have a lot of chocolate fruit candy.
Do you guys like fruit mixed with candy? Like, I always get bummed out when there's like a chocolate cake, but it's got like raspberry sauce on it or something.
Some fruit. Chocolate and strawberry is fantastic.
Yeah.
Chocolate and banana is excellent.
Fair.
But I don't know. I've never had chocolate and apricot before. This is definitely a new experience.
Geiger, you're usually our leadoff man. You're going to start us off and tell us what you think of these FruChocs.
So I think the name FruChocs, just to start, is hilarious.
Very funny name.
They basically like, oh, it's fruit and chocolate.
Too bad they didn't call it FruChocs, am I right? Like FruChocs Dundee?
We can start calling it that. So anyway, let's rate this FruChocs Dundee. The chocolate is actually pretty good. It's like a milk chocolate and it's a fairly thick amount of chocolate. It's not like a big piece of fruit, like lightly drizzled in it. There's a decent amount of chocolate on there. I think it's good tasting chocolate. I think it is weird how it looks like peanut butter and tastes like fruit, but the fruit flavor is nice. It's not too like overpowering. It's not too like over like dried fruit can be really chewy. Like eating, I don't like Raisinets. It's like a consistency thing for me. So that's not a problem here. It's very soft. I think it's a good ratio between fruit flavor and chocolate flavor. I'm going to give these a solid like that. These are good.
All right, Geiger, starting us off with the like that right out of the gate. Chad, what do you think?
Yeah, echo a lot of what Geiger said there. The chocolate is really, really good chocolate. I am a little thrown off by the flavor inside. Like, it's really interesting. It's not like sort of a flavor that I normally... I guess I don't eat a lot of apricots, but... So I guess it tastes like apricot? I don't know. But it's pretty good. I don't think I would be able to like put back this whole bag. You know, I ate about like a half a dozen and I think I'm done. So this isn't something that's really blowing me away, but it's a solid snack. I'll give it a like that.
All right, 2 like that's. Ding dong, boys.
Oh, let that visitor in.
I was not in the mood for a visitor. I didn't think I was going to like this when we started it. Hey, let's establish first. Is it apricot or apricot?
I was going to say the same thing. It's definitely apricot.
Oh, shit.
I don't know. We could look it up. I think it's apricot.
Is it Croc Dundee or Croak Dundee?
I actually, apricot, I don't even know which way I mostly say it. Like, I can't even pick out, like, how do I say it usually? I don't know. This is the type of thing that would make me want to visit Australia and then visit LA shortly after. So I'm going to give it a 3rd like that, which is a welcome visitor from the land down under, right off the bat. So that takes us through our first one. Next, we're going to go to the mint slice.
This is made by Arnott's, which is the same company that makes the Tim Tam. So that's one of the, I think, the top Australian snack companies. And it just comes in a big, long, cylindrical tube. I think these are very similar to Thin Mints.
Thin Mints are delicious.
Thin Mint is my least favorite Girl Scout cookie.
Really?
That's not a popular opinion, I know, but...
I don't know if it's my least favorite, but I don't particularly like it either, just because I'm not a huge fan of mint in general. I think I like it over, there's like the Samoa is the other really popular one that I'm not a huge fan of. To me, with Girl Scout cookies, it's tag along or get the fuck out.
Tag along is the best one. I agree there. I would actually put Thin Mints too. I think partly because they are so thin, I feel like I can eat them like chips. Like I can just eat like a bunch in a row. The only thing is if you have we used to have a cookie like jar growing up that all the cookies would go into, and if you put Thin Mints in a cookie jar, it will ruin the next couple cookies because it'll just have like taste like mint.
I like the Do-si-dos.
What is that?
That's the basically like Nutter Butter with the hard peanut butter outside and like the creamy peanut butter on the inside.
Did you guys try the s'mores Girl Scout cookies when they had those?
No.
They're okay.
I was a little disappointed. They're all right.
We have the gluten-free ones they made. They're not great.
So this mint slice is kind of in two layers. The bottom is like a thin mint, but then there is a white, I guess that's also just mint section on the top.
It's kind of like a peppermint patty on top of a cookie.
I can't tell if the cookie itself is minty like a thin mint is, or if the mint is just coming from that white layer on top.
I can't tell either.
Answer me.
We'll never solve this mystery.
Hey guys, I don't know either.
Ah, damn it, what good are you? I was counting on you.
We did that. Prior episode should show you that's a mistake. What I also liked was the individual mint candy that we'll presumably be eating in a future episode that was stuck to the outside of the bag.
Oh, did those sort of like melt onto the...
I was like, I originally thought that we were eating a minty. I'm like, oh, I'll just eat this one. It's on this bag.
The minties came in a huge bag. They're all individually wrapped. They had also melted a little bit on the flight out to San Francisco from Australia because I dumped the bag out and it just like about half of them came out in a huge clump.
This mint slice has traveled uncountable distances.
It's flown thousands and thousands of miles for you to shit all over it.
Yeah, and now it's going to be witnessing the horrors of my one vent.
These things were already a little melted when they came to me.
Yeah.
And then I was going to drop them off at your house, Geiger, and you weren't home. And it was about an 85-degree day. And so you said, Betsy, your wife is going to be home. So I texted her and she said, yeah, just the door will be open. Just go ahead and come on in and leave them there. I'm probably going to be on the phone. So I get to your door. It's locked, and the dog comes running to the door and is just barking his head off at me. So I said, well, they're going to be left right here on the step. Chad, what do you think of mint slice?
I mean, we know what you're going to say.
I didn't expect to like these as much as I did. I didn't particularly like them, but I also didn't dislike them.
What's that statement? I didn't expect to like them. I didn't like them or dislike them.
It's weird because, yeah, I kind of expected that I would find these things pretty gross, but...
Shit on your friend's food and get it over with.
The mint is not too overpowering. It's very subtle. It only has a hint of that famous Australian AIDS. Yeah, it's all right. I don't think I'm going to eat any more of them. One was enough of those, so I'm just going to go indifferent to that. Middle of the road.
I definitely tasted the Australian AIDS.
They're going to like edit in the sound later of like the Australian flavors.
I do like mint things, despite not really liking thin mints. I just think thin mints are overrated. But I think this is a step up from the thin mint. That little white layer on top kind of adds a little creaminess to it, and I enjoyed it. I definitely could see myself eating a number of these. So I'm going to go with another like that for another Australian snack here. So if the third snack comes up, I might just be changing residency. Geiger, what do you think?
Wait, are you moving to Australia if you like the third snack?
Because I like 3 of their snacks.
That sounds economically non-feasible, but that's fine.
I want to meet Crack Dundee.
You show up at the Australian immigration counter and they're like, okay, are you here for business or pleasure? And you're like, oh, pleasure. And then they're like, how many vents do you have? And if you only answer one, he's like, well, we can rectify that. And he pulls out a knife. This is a knife.
Carves you a new asshole.
Yep.
I want to go there to hunt the most deadly game of all, drop bears. I'm going to load my armpits up with toothpaste. Head into the outback.
Smear them all over every koala you see. Just rubbing koalas in your armpit.
Walking through the Australian airport with toothpaste in your armpits. Excuse me, sir? Are you smuggling in thin mints? All
right, Geiger, what do you think?
Yeah, these mint slices are good. I like Thin Mints, and I like peppermint York, like peppermint patties better. And this is kind of the best of both worlds. You have the cookie layer, but you have that thin layer of AIDS, and then you also have a thin layer of like the minty cream. It's a little creamier too than like you would get in a York peppermint patty. It's a little stiffer. This is like a little creamier, and it's really tasty. And the chocolate's good. I'd eat a ton of these. These are really good. This is another solid like that for me too.
All right, 2 likes and an indifferent, but surprisingly, the FruChocs are still out in the lead, and the heavyweight double-coated Tim Tam still to come, and the other snacks are a little afraid of what might be. So we're gonna take a segment though. Little break here. Chad, you're going to lead us through.
So it's a return of our fan favorite segment, which is you BuzzFeed Dat. So we're going to do a BuzzFeed quiz. These are always fun and horrible and stupid. So let's do it. So this one is called, Which Potato Food Are You? And it says, admit it. You've always thought of yourself as being like sweet potato fries.
A lot of thought went into this.
Yeah. What would make you most happy right now? Now, there's 9 answers to each of these questions. So here's what we get. Getting some sleep, eating some food, having sex, reading a book, working out or running, watching some TV, drugs and or booze, being with my friends or family, sweet, sweet revenge.
We got to just answer these as honestly as possible because I need a true representation of what potato food
Don't cheat the quiz, no.
It is super late at night here, so getting some sleep sounds pretty good. But let's be honest, I'm a warm-blooded man, so I'm gonna pick having sex.
All right, Novak, nice work. Is that what? So you're gonna get up and go have sex now?
Well, it depends on what you answer.
Oh, why don't you come back over to my house? The door's gonna be unlocked, quote unquote.
Well, if you got 2 vents, then we can all take part.
Yeah, I mean, I'd also like to have some sex, I guess. So I would also vote that.
Spoken from guys who are not regularly having sex.
I'm actually going to pick working out or running because my schedule didn't let me to go get a run today, which I really wanted to do. I'm trying to train for a half marathon. Question 2. Are you nude right now? Yes, I am totally nude. No, I'm fully clothed. I don't know how there's more than 2 answers for this. I wish, buddy. Nude from the waist down. I am topless. I'm only wearing a hat. I am never nude. I can neither confirm nor deny my nudity. You wish, perv.
Wait. I wish, buddy, essentially means I'm clothed, right? Those are the same answers.
Yeah.
I really wish I could take my clothes off, but I'm contractually obligated to stay clothed.
Well, I can't take them off because I'm on a Skype with you guys.
Don't stop from on my account.
I could be nude from the waist down.
Oh, that's true. We were talking Crack Dundee quite a bit.
I want to show you guys my cock Dundee.
That's definitely not a knife.
I'm going to answer just straight here and say, I know I'm fully clothed because that's the honest answer, and I don't wish I was naked.
I'm going to say you wish, perv.
I picked I can neither confirm nor deny my nudity because this is an audio medium. You listeners have no proof.
That's true.
All right. The time has come to select a cartoon character.
Of course.
I don't know any of these people.
All right, so here are the choices. Flame Princess. Whatever the fuck that is.
Classic cartoon character.
Amethyst, who I've also never heard of. Victor Nikiforov, who looks like an anime guy.
What the hell?
Bob the Minion. Judy Hopps, who's from Zootopia. Dory from Finding Nemo. Garfield. Moana. And Robin Hood. I guess the Disney Robin Hood, the Fox guy. So the time has come, gentlemen.
I was wondering when the time would come. Here it is. This is an easy one for me. We had a couple of movies recorded off of TV as a kid that we would always watch. So we just had those few VHS tapes. And one of them was the Robin Hood Disney movie that I've seen countless times. So I am picking Robin Hood the Fox from the old Disney flick.
We actually tried to watch that Robin Hood movie. I've only seen it like once or twice, and we tried to watch it with the kids. It was on Netflix, and they had zero interest. Like, it was like just too old for them, I think. I am picking Garfield for a couple reasons. One, because I used to read all of my grandmother's, like my grandma had all these collected comic books full of Garfield comic strips from the newspaper. And I would go over there and read them all when I was a kid.
She cut them out of the daily paper?
No. Like, you can buy collections of comic strips, a book. Okay. And then this was before I realized Garfield was horribly unfunny. But also because the picture they're showing of Garfield looks hilarious. He's got this giant grin on his face.
He's kind of lifting a leg like he's showing off his 2 vents or something.
He's definitely going to show you his old Croc Dundee.
Chad?
I would want to pick Garfield because I used to watch the Garfield cartoon show all the time, but I'm not going to. Oh, and another reason I would maybe pick Garfield is because I love this website, Garfield minus Garfield.
Yes, that's true.
Where they take Garfield strips and edit out Garfield, so it's just John Arbuckle, and he looks like an absolute psychopath. Like, it's just him talking to himself and like making weird faces. It's one of the funniest things ever. You have to check it out if you haven't seen it. I would also maybe pick Judy Hopps because I actually really like Zootopia. It's a great movie.
Because she's hot.
And I want to just like grab those ears. I'm gonna pick the one that describes me best, Flame Princess. Choose a song by the rock band Counting Crows.
Oh, I actually used to love the Counting Crows.
I don't know any of these songs. Here they go. Mr. Jones, Round Here, Anna Begins, Hanging Around, Have You Seen Me Lately, Along December, Rain King, Angels of the Silences, and What the Fuck, I Don't Know This Band.
I don't even like a lot of, like, I'm okay with Counting Crows. Round Here, I hate. Hanging Around, I don't like.
I think I know Hanging Around, yeah.
I am going to go with Along December. That's my favorite song of these.
Geiger?
I actually did really like the Counting Crows at one point in my life. And sorry, Novak, but my favorite song was Round Here.
You son of a bitch.
I picked WTF, I Don't Know This Band.
But can we just pause? I know this is BuzzFeed.
Yeah.
What? Like, where are they getting this shit from?
Don't try to make sense of BuzzFeed. It's the worst website.
How do I get a job at BuzzFeed? This is the easiest work of my life.
We still have 3 questions left.
All right, what will be your catchphrase this year? The first one is, gotta gabba gobble. I can't even say it.
Yep, that's it. Shut the quiz down.
Stop there. We all got...
No, they get better. Next one is give me everything I want.
That's not a catchphrase. That's just being an asshole.
Next one is I'm the daddy now. Next one is you can't have my stuff, okay? And then I can't even fucking read it. It's
what the fuck is this?
Sorry. It's I've gonna
I've gonna borf.
I've gonna borf.
Is that like I can't have cheeseburger, but it's I'm gonna barf?
I don't know why I couldn't read that.
Let's wait for the next one.
Okay.
So dumb.
Next one is thy will be done, jackass. Then daddy says I'm fleek. Then let's hit the showers, Jen.
What?
And then just in parentheses, hysterical crying. Oh shit. Oh man. I think it's the I've and I've gonna morph is what made me like the okay, Novak, what is it gonna be?
It's really between I've gonna borf and I will be done, jackass.
No love for gotta go.
Or I'm the daddy now.
I'm going with I've gonna borf. It's the one I'm definitely most likely to keep saying after this show.
I mean, these are split between non sequiturs and just complaints. You can't have my stuff, okay? Isn't a catchphrase. And how many times am I really, like, what context am I constantly able to hit you with the, let's hit the showers, gents? That's creepy.
We do say gents a lot, so that's a good one.
Yeah. I don't mean to be derivative, but I literally was reading ahead, and when I got to I've Gonna Borf, I couldn't breathe for a solid 10 minutes, so I'm definitely going to pick that one as well.
Oh, for sure. It's got to be I've Gonna Borf. That's just so fucking stupid.
The trifecta.
So stupid.
A welcome visitor.
Next question. It's now time for you to choose a random dude.
These guys. wait, okay, hold on. I'm getting ahead of Adam Duritz from Counting Crows is one of these. Did this fucking guy write the quiz?
All right. Here are the choices. Brett Michaels from Poison, Dave Navarro from Jane's Addiction, Shaggy Too Dope from Insane Clown Posse, Adam Duritz from Counting Crows, Butterbean. I love Butterbean. He's so funny looking. Howie Mandel, Chris Angel of Mind Freak, Chad Hood Gray from Mudvayne, and Kid Rock.
What is Howie Mandel doing with the rest of these assholes?
They're mostly musicians. Like,
yeah. Then you got Butterbean.
There's 6 musicians. Then Chris Angel, Butterbean, and Howie Mandel.
We're counting Shaggy Too Dope as a musician, are we?
hey! You're gonna get all the juggalos pissed off.
Yeah, I don't want to court that juggalo hate.
Novak, pick a random dude.
Butterbean.
Shaggy Too Dope.
It's between Butterbean and Howie Mandel for sure. I gotta go Butterbean just because the picture of him, he's like got no shirt and he looks like he's like super drunk or something while flexing his muscles. All right, what's your greatest fear? I will never find love, losing my toes, being trapped in a painting, laser bears, public speaking, creepy crawlies, the Bilderberg group, letting down daddy, and I'm living it right now, pal.
What's with all the daddy shit?
I'm gonna say being trapped in a painting.
All right.
I immediately clicked it and my answer came up. You got tater tots.
Does it say why?
I'll just read it now for you guys pick.
Yeah.
You got tater tots. You're a proud nonconformist and you like to challenge people's preconceptions. You're always fun to be around and kids love you.
Oh, man.
All because you picked Butterbean.
Oh, man.
All right, gotta click away.
My greatest fear. Why the fuck am I thinking about this? Fuck it. Laser bears. I don't know. I'm just going to later. You got mashed potatoes. You're a stable and dependable person who works well with others. Keep in mind, I chose I've Got a Borf and Shaggy Too Dope, and that made me a dependable person. You tend to be pretty humble, but your friends always appreciate your upbeat personality and unique perspective on the world.
All right, I'm going to pick the Bilderberg group. You got sweet potato fries. Hey, I love sweet potato fries. You're offbeat and unusual, but in the best way possible. You're the type of person who always stands out, but you get along great with other people and are always fun at a party.
I think all 3 of these were eerily accurate.
Yeah?
Yeah. maybe BuzzFeed is not the worst site on the internet. I do like that the URL is like BuzzFeed.com, potato. That's pretty funny. All right.
Well, that had literally nothing to do with snacks. But
or Australia.
Oh, man.
We spent our Australian-themed episode talking about borfing.
I really wish we were going to be trying something that was for sure going to be terrible so that we can say that I've got a borf.
Would you feed these Tim Tams to Daddy?
We should just change hate that to I've gonna borf. So, last but not least of the snacks, we have the Tim Tam double coat, and we previously tried the standard Tim Tam. Geiger and I both gave that a love dat, and I think Chad, you maybe gave it a like dat.
I gave it a like that, and Adam, who sent these snacks, said that the double coat is the superior version of Tim Tam, better than regular. So I'm very excited to try these.
I remember them kind of well, but what exactly makes this one different?
I think it's more chocolate, right?
I would assume it is covered in twice the amount of chocolate, is my assumption. It's the coating. Because even if you look at them, they look a lot sloppier.
Yeah, it's an extra thick chocolate coating. So I guess maybe the rest of it is the same. There's a lot more chocolate on it, actually, I can tell.
A lot of chocolate here. The flavor is obviously similar to the Tim Tam, which is very good. I mean, I'm going to lead us off, so maybe I'll just go right into it. I do not think this is superior to the Tim Tam.
Really?
It's almost...
Why not?
Too much chocolate. So we've previously established that the double stuffed Oreo, a couple of us think is superior to the standard, and that's a little different for me because we're talking two different flavors: a creamy, more vanilla-ish flavor, white cream flavor versus a chocolate. And these things are all chocolate. Chocolate on the inside, chocolate on the outside. It's just the cookie's just the wideness of it. I don't think it's improving this cookie at all to make it a double coat. I don't think the extra chocolate is helping out. I think the extra chocolate is taking the Tim Tam down a notch.
Wow.
Jay's face.
You better be careful or Adam's going to fly over here and give you some of his Australian flavor.
He's going to rip you a new vent. It is still good. I mean, it's the flavor is still good, but because I do think it's a slight downstep, I'm going to give it just a like that this time around, which for me in this episode was 3 like that. So as much as I am ending by not saying I love this snack, I did give all 3 Australian snacks today a like that.
You are your own welcome visitor.
I am.
Which of these 3 snacks did you like the best?
That is actually a really tough call. If I had to just reach for one, I'll be honest, the FruChocs would be the last one I reach for, even though I did like them. This is just my terrible sensibilities of not wanting any fruit mixed in, but I don't know. I might eat another one of those mint ones.
All right.
Geiger, what do you think of the double CTT?
The what? Oh, the double CTT, right? I just heard a bunch of TTTTT. You got me thinking, Novak. I agree kind of a little bit. I really, 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 like I said, the original Tim Tams were perfect. And I think that extra chocolate doesn't necessarily help. It's good chocolate. It's not like it's crappy chocolate, right? But I think a lot of times with these snacks, it's like the balance of the components that is good. And I think there's a reason probably that regular Tim Tam, well, maybe I don't know this. Regular Tim Tams, I assume, are the classic Tim Tam because it's got the right ratio of cream to cookie to coating. It's really close. It's not like these are far away from the regulars, but I would agree with you in just giving this a like that. It's not quite as good as the Love Dat, or as the originals that got a Love Dat from me, but they are very good still.
I hope this gives Adam something to think about.
Yeah, Adam, maybe consider your life choices. The other thing is I did also give all 3 of these a like that. So, and if honestly forced to choose, I probably might eat the mint slice again, but I really love mint stuff. So,
Chad, what do you think?
I guess I'm the daddy now.
Okay. What did you think?
I couldn't disagree with you guys anymore.
Really?
Yeah, to me, the Tim Tam, the chocolate is the best part of the Tim Tam. When it comes to these Tim Tams, I gotta gobble. So,
are you looking back at that list? Trying to fit as many
no.
as you can?
I fear these Tim Tams as much as I fear losing my toes.
My message to Adam is, "Thy will be done, jackass." I think these are better than the regular Tim Tams in every way. I'm giving these a Love Dat. These things are fantastic.
Wow, that is odd that we flipped on that, and that Love Dat is going to put the DCTT as the winner this week. And all thanks to the Flame Princess, who gave it a Love Dat.
Hey, that's Daddy Flame Princess to you.
I will say that's an impressive run for Tim Tam. They've been the clear champions of both episodes. I wonder how many other, I'm sure there's a bunch of other flavors. I wonder if there's like non-chocolate flavors too.
Guess you'll just have to move to Australia to find out.
Well, Novak was going to do that, right?
Yes.
Those plans still on?
So, plans still on.
Go get your extra Australian vents and report back about Tim Tams.
Right. Well, Australia's going to give me everything I want, as the saying goes.
And no, they can't have any of your stuff.
It's going to give you all that Tim Tam flavor and AIDS.
If you'd like to give us flavor and or AIDS, you can reach us at You Tried Dat on Facebook. Facebook. Hashtag You Tried Dat on Twitter. You Tried Dat on YouTube. Email us directly. YouTriedThat@gmail.com. Give us your feedback, thoughts, suggestions for new food. If you disagree with our ratings, we always like mailbag questions. We always appreciate you listening and participating.
And which one did you miss?
Twitter, Facebook, and
Instagram.
Fancy.
Yeah. Is this the dark web again? No, yeah. We're also on Instagram, and we're also on Match.com.
And Geiger's on Match.com as Rain King.
I am the Rain King. Because my biggest fear is I won't find love and laser bears. Seriously, I want a job at BuzzFeed. That seems like you just like roll out of bed at 10 o'clock, do like a Mad Libs puzzle, and then just walk away. That's your whole job.
Well, let's hit the showers, gents. That'll do it for this episode. We will catch you next time when we will be trying 3 brand new snacks.
Deuces.
Yep.